They killed, give me Isaiah 14 and 21. They did the same thing to my people. So that you said that they put millions of my house. Yes, you said so.
Should a murderer go to jail for murdering?
Absolutely.
Should a thief go to jail when he steals?
Absolutely.
Should a robber pay back the money he robbed?
Absolutely.
So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did?
That's right. That's right.
You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a
I'm in a hell of a hole, was never expected to grow. Just obstacle set in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never our home. Only a place of captivity, safe facility, hating disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe this slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting. The trail of my tears is countless. Main fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angel, be ready to rap. Crack in the sky, nuclear missiles and make it official. I'm capturing every cracker surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be. Slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cage is safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash. Get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show, we could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom, we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now.
You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a
Look, ain't no remorse in my blood slump. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember your Honda's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in this body, you fit a Lord, fuck the cartel. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback's a bitch in his dress, she a bombshell. Revenge is dish served cold, I just hope they making oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear it got that new car smell. Made myself a target in the world of mad shooters. There was design fire for our babies to pass through. In the day of our king's reign, I'll be overzealous. They bought my jealous, I bought brand new parabellums.
You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
They killed, give me Isaiah 14 and 21. They did the same thing to my people. So that you said that they put millions of my house. Yes, you said so.
Should a murderer go to jail for murdering?
Absolutely.
Should a thief go to jail when he steals?
Absolutely.
Should a robber pay back the money he robbed?
Absolutely.
So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did?
That's right. That's right.
You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog.
expected to grow. Just obstacles set in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never our home. Only a place of captivity, save facility, hating, disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe this slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting. The trail of my tears is countless. Main fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angels, be ready to rap. Cracking the sky, nuclear missiles will make it official. I'm capturing every cracker surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be. Slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cage and safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash. Get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show, we could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom, we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now.
You see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. Dog is a dog. Payback is a dog. Dog is a dog. Payback is a dog. Dog is a dog. Payback is a dog. Dog is a dog.
Look, ain't no remorse in my blood slim. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember your Honda's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in this body, you fit a Lord, fuck the cartel. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback's a bitch in a dress, she a bombshell. Revenge is served cold, I just hope they make an oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear it got that new car smell. Made myself a target in the world of mad shooters. That was designed fast for our babies to pass through it. And the day of our king's reign, I'll be overzealous. They bought my jealous, I bought brand new parabellums.
Do you see just how it feels? Payback is a dog. Dog is a dog. Payback is a dog. Dog is a dog. Payback is a dog. Dog is a dog. Payback is a dog. Dog is a dog.
They killed, give me Isaiah 14 and 21. They did the same thing to my people. So you said that they put millions of my houses. Yes, you said, sir.
Yeah. All right. Shalom Israel, Yahweh Shem Yahushua Barakatham, Yahweh Shemar Alatham Bashem Yahushua, peace and also Shab of the ISUPK. Started 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander Jenny Hanna. Been teaching the truth since 1969. As you know, today is the Tuesday Night Brotherhood class. Every single Tuesday we broadcast live from Orlando, Florida. So if you're in the Central Florida area, I mean, we haven't been in the library lately, but yeah, I mean, if you want to get all your questions answered directly live, you know what I mean, come on through. Hart Memorial Library, you know what I'm saying? That's East Dakin Avenue, 211 East Dakin Avenue, Kissimmee, Florida, 6:30 to 8:30. So we be out there. You know what I mean? Got some heavy hitters with me, rocking it out with me. Got also Kazak Lamar. Y'all give it up. You know what I mean? Got also Kanak as well in the building. You know what I'm saying? Give it up. You know what I mean? So we're going to be rocking it out, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. If you're new in the school, don't have your Hebrew name, make sure you click on the sign-in link in the YouTube chat. Let me see if it's posted on Facebook. All right, so make sure you click on that link, fill out the information so that way you can get credit for today's class. We also got the link for the stream for the live, if you want to join the live, just click on the link, and you'll be able to get to join in. If you want to ask a question or add a comment or whatever, feel free to do so. Shalom, everybody. Shalom, shalom. All right. Of course, if you got any questions, we'll answer them. If you want to ask any questions, but other than that, man, we usually just jump right into the topic. All right.
Hey, Shalom, Yavashim Shabakatah.
Shalom.
What's your topic?
She talking about Black Hebrew Israelites, or what the world called as Black Hebrew Israelites. All right, people is getting more familiar with this, I guess, newfound organization that people is associating themselves with. Some people tie it to a religion, some people tie it to a race, some people say it's a hate group, some people say it's a movement that's perpetuated by Black people wanting to steal others' identities, or all type of statements are made in regards to what it is to be a Hebrew Israelite, or even to be a Jew at that. So topic, we'll jump into that, you know what I mean? But of course, I don't see no questions, man, so we'll go ahead and dive into the topic. Let's see. All right, this is a particular verse. I hear feedback. Anybody else hear feedback?
Yeah, I think it was Kanak. I had muted him up. Kanak, when you off, you got a feedback. I don't know if you got it. If you still got the YouTube up, you want to close out the YouTube.
Oh, you gotta
Just
close
go
out the
directly
YouTube.
from the stream. Yeah.
Yeah, you sound real low too, for some reason.
You talking about me?
Nah, Canuck. So Canuck.
I had got on the StreamYard from the YouTube.
Yeah. Once you do that, if you keep the YouTube open, then the audio will be playing from the YouTube and the StreamYard, so it'll give a feedback.
All right. So we'll go ahead and dive in. All right. So there's a particular verse I wanted to grab in Ecclesiasticus. I think it's in chapter 18, where it mentions that the Lord gave the law as a heritage. Something like that. It's Ecclesiasticus 18 in the Apocrypha. All right. Where it talks about the heritage of Israel. All right. So let's get that real quick.
Hey, Tawashar, you said Ecclesiasticus 18 and what?
You can hear me?
Yeah, went out for a minute.
Oh. Y'all know what I'm talking about?
Ecclesiasticus 18 and what?
I think it's in 18 where it mentions how the Lord gave his law as a heritage.
Nah, I could find it for you though.
Could. What is it, 17?
Ecclesiasticus 17 and 11.
17 and 11. 17 and 11. All right. There we go. If I could, Oscar, now you can read that for me real quick, Baba Kasha.
Am I still low?
Nah, I hear
Nah,
you
you
now.
loud and clear.
Most High in Christ. Good night. Okay, Salaki, sir, where we at?
Ecclesiasticus 17 and 11, was it?
Yeah, you probably want to start at like 9, something like that.
Yes. What kind? 17 and 9.
Yeah, what that say? 17 and 9.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 17, verse 9. He gave them the glory of his marvelous acts forever, that they might declare his works with understanding.
Mm-hmm.
And the elect shall praise his holy name. Beside this, he gave them knowledge and the law of life for an heritage.
For a what?
For an heritage.
For an heritage. He gave them the law of life. The law of life will be talking about what? What is the law of life?
Salaki.
Mm-hmm.
That would talk about the commandments and the
Right.
statutes, the judgments.
Right. The law, statute, commandments, that's found where? Where's that found at?
Salaki, that's found in the Bible, in the first 5 books.
In the Bible. So the book called the Bible was given unto the children of Israel, the law, statute, commandments that's written of in the Bible as a heritage. Right? What does the word heritage mean? In simple terms. What does that mean?
Is it Salaki?
Mm-hmm.
Is it something like family oriented, like your it's like your part of your background?
Yeah, that's a good answer. I mean, that's not wrong. That's not wrong. Anybody else want to add on to it?
Yeah, I got the definition.
What you got, sir?
Like, never
uh,
mind
I,
what that nigga said.
I got Oxford Dictionary says property that is or may be inherited, an inheritance. Value, the number 2 is value objects that qualities such as cultural traditions, unspoiled countryside, and historic buildings that have been passed down from previous generations. So
If I may,
denoting a
sir,
tradition. Yep.
if I may, can you read that second definition one more time, Baba Kasha?
It says valued objects and qualities such as cultural traditions,
As what?
cultural traditions,
Mm-hmm.
unspoiled countryside, which is land, and historic buildings that have been passed down from previous generations.
Right. There you go. So for us to understand what is a Hebrew Israelite, quote unquote, and I'm using that term loosely because that's the terms that people love to identify who we are as. And we're gonna get into that as well too. You know what I'm saying? But that's a brief understanding to let you know that our belief system is not based upon religion, right? The Bible is not based upon religion, right? We base our beliefs off of our heritage and our culture of who we once were prior to us coming here as slaves, right? By us not eating pork is not a religion, right? It's our culture. It's a law within our government. You know what I'm saying? Not celebrating Thanksgiving or any holiday that's coming up. You got Christmas coming up, New Year's coming up. All these traditions that's outside of our heritage and our government, you know what I'm saying, we are prohibited to follow, right? And every nation practice this on earth. Tell me not, right? You got every nation. You got the Chinese, the Japanese. They got their own dietary laws. They got their own ceremonial laws. They got their own civil laws. If I'm not mistaken, I seen it. You could back me up on this as well, too, sir. Where in China, if you do something illegal in China, that can impact your credit score, something like that. Like they base your credit upon behavior. Go ahead, sir. You was gonna say, sir?
No, I ain't got nothing on that. I don't know about that.
Okay,
I know.
cause
I know. Your behavior affects your credit score in America. Like if you black, it automatically go down 100 points or something like that. Like,
right.
so it might be the same thing. I
But
don't
in
know,
China,
brother.
cause it's like where you, it's
Yeah,
like where
you
you
put me up
jaywalk.
on something. I ain't know nothing about that.
Nah, no sweat. Yeah, it's like where you jaywalk or something like that. They have like cameras set up on the street lights or the traffic lights that take photographic images of you, and they report that to their bureau, and that impacts your credit. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that. If somebody could look that up, you know what I mean? Like I mentioned that to say that that's how they culturally run their society. You get what I'm saying? Like this is a law within their system to help them function as a nation, right? Even in Dubai, right? I'm sure y'all probably heard this story then. A chick in Houston that was from Houston went to Dubai that got arrested for arguing with somebody or being too loud in the hotel, right? Now you can do something like that here in America. You might get arrested or so or whatnot, right? But it's not as frowned upon as it would be in places like Dubai, right? Where they even have a whole dress code for the woman that visit over there, just for tourism. You get what I'm saying? Like they can't even dress, however way they want to, right? Because this is how they run their society within their culture. They have a government and they have laws that's implemented on that land. So us as Black people, we have to understand that we are a nation as well. And like every other nation, we have laws that caters to our society. You know what I'm saying?
Like you said.
Kind of go ahead.
I was gonna say, well, in our culture, our credit already be messed up because our mama used to put everybody done had their mama put their name, put the lights in their name when they was still 5 or 6 years old. They still like, I don't know if y'all know
Hey,
people like that, but I know a couple people like that. So, like,
Nah, Salakia Canuck. That's what I was trying to say earlier, but I don't think Thou Shalt knew what I was talking about, man. That's what I was saying. It's already going down 100%. By the time you get grown, you already had the cable, the lights, all kind of stuff in the renter center, all kind of foolishness in your name, man. So,
God, you know what I'm saying? And and I do understand what y'all say, but I just realized that, what I'm saying, that how they do it is severe within their society, and this is something that they implement on their own people. Like we just in a bad situation overall, without an identity. So we rely on another people to, give us something that we can eat and drink and all that stuff. You get what I'm saying? Because credit scores is how they run their society and all that. You know what I mean? And us as a people, Black people, we have a different way of function. You know what I'm saying? So when a Black man wants to identify as a Jew, it's not because he's a convert. You know what I'm saying? It's not because it's a religious standpoint, right? Because the Bible says what? What does the Bible say again in Ecclesiasticus 17?
it's like it says, besides this, he gave them knowledge and the law of life for inheritance.
For a what?
Heritage.
for a heritage, man. You know what I mean? The things that we practice is we're practicing it because these are the laws within our own government. Now, for most people, it's hard to see that because we don't have a landmass, right? Right? Most nations, when they govern within their borders. And they have a land that they say, well, these are the laws that we're going to implement on this land. And if you come over here, you must abide by these laws. But for us, because we're so scattered, right, like is mentioned in the scriptures, we are scattered and we don't have a land, right? So the most important thing is, even though that we don't have a land, we still have laws that's within us that we have to implement amongst us as a people. You get what I'm saying? Like like I mentioned, not eating pork. That's a law that we can't, you know what I'm saying? That's just something that we have to implement as a people. You know what I mean? Celebrating these holidays, that's something that we have to implement as a people because this is our heritage, it's our culture, right? This is how we function as a nation, right? Not because of a religion, right? Let me get Ecclesiasticus 17 and 17. And anything you want to add too, sir, you can go ahead and add.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what you got to bring out, but I always got some milk to add to the meal. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know you got something
Yeah.
heavy that you might want to bring out, but like as you talking, I mean, the main things I'm thinking about is what they calling you a black Hebrew Israelite, how
Mm-hmm.
derogatory that name is. So you think about
Mm-hmm.
Deuteronomy 28 where it says you're gonna be a proverb and a byword. This is one of the curses. I'm thinking
Mm-hmm.
about, Psalms 147, 19 and 20, where it's saying he only gave these laws, statutes, and commandments to Israel and not no other nation. So these things
Mm-hmm.
were put in place to separate you. And if you want to, keep going down that road, you got Deuteronomy chapter 4 and 6, where it tells you what these laws were supposed to do. They're supposed to separate you from everybody else on the planet. And they're supposed to look at you a certain type of way because you carry yourself a certain type of way. So the
Mm-hmm.
fact that we being called this, it just goes to show that the Bible is correct when it talks about how much we didn't do what the Lord said to do, how he put us out of the land, how he let our oppressors deal with us, and he took his hands off us because of our disobedience. So I got all them on deck whenever you ready, but I just don't know where you at or where you headed with it, and I don't want to step on your toes.
Nah, all that's perfect. That's right on point. You know what I mean? Like we're gonna dive into all of that, right? You know what I'm saying? The fact that they even call us a black Hebrew Israelite is something that, they don't really understand what we've got going on over here. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we're gonna grab all of it. Let me just get Ecclesiasticus 17 and 17, and then we're gonna jump into the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? All right.
The book of Ecclesiasticus. Is it Ecclesiastes or Ecclesiastes?
Ecclesiasticus.
17 and 17.
Mm-hmm.
For in the division of the nations of the whole earth, he set a ruler over every people.
Mm-hmm.
But Israel is the Lord's portion.
But what?
But Israel is the Lord's portion.
Israel is the Lord's portion. We have to understand who is Israel then, right? The Bible is saying right here in this verse that Israel belongs to the Most High. They are the chosen people of God, right? So what we have to do is examine today, right? And with the scriptures that also Gazak pulled as well, showing who is Israel, right? These people over there in the Middle East right now that's at war with Palestine, right? They are claiming or self-proclaiming themselves to be the chosen people of God, right? They'll tell you that, you know, them being Jewish gives them the right to that land. You get what I'm saying? So they in all type of conflict, all type of war that's going on over there. You get what I'm saying? Well, we're gonna get the true understanding to see who the real chosen people of God are. Right? Let's get the what was that one you called? So you did Deuteronomy 28, the byword.
Oh,
Was it byword?
I call like three of them. I mean, where I probably would want to go first is being that you just pulled out that the laws was an inheritance or a heritage is
Hmm.
Psalms 147, 19.
You want to get
You know
one
what I'm
Psalms
saying?
47?
147, yeah, I would start there. Um,
Got it. Let me see if Jaheim want to read too. If you want to grab that, Jaheim.
I'm on it.
All right.
Come. This the book of Psalms, chapter 147, verse 19. He's sure of his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. Verse 20. He hath not dealt so with any nation, and as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord.
You want to break that down, though, Shaw? You want me to break it down?
No, you got it, sir. Hold on.
No, I was
Let
just
that
gonna
Bible.
add, just based on what Tanakh just read in Ecclesiastes. Well, I'm sorry, Ecclesiasticus. It was saying how he gave this as an inheritance. You know what I'm saying to Israel. You know, like how I don't know what happened to Thor Shop. But anyway, how he gave these laws, statutes, and commandments as an inheritance to Israel. Now you see here in 147 that it's what sets you apart from everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Like when Christ, even Christ, when he was bringing the law back into play, he said, "By this you should know that people should know that you are my disciples, that you love one another." How do you show that love? By not stealing from each other, not murdering each other. You know what I'm saying? Not sleeping with each other's wives, not, you know what I'm saying, following these laws, statutes, and commandments that was laid down from the jump. And he gave them to you so other people who might deal with each other in that manner may look at you and see that there's a difference between you. It says he have not dealt so with any other nation. And as far as his judgments, they don't know his judgment the way we know. They ain't I was just watching this video that we had. They ain't you know scattered like amongst the heathens as far as being called a byword. They don't have no land like where they call two different continents, Africa and America. You know what I'm saying? Like they know who they is. You ask your oppressor who he is, he gonna say I'm Irish or I'm German or I'm such and such. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's an African, he gonna say I'm Nigeria. He not gonna say African. He gonna say I'm from Nigeria. I'm from Sierra Leone. I'm from Ethiopia, wherever he's from. We are the only people that get called, even when we try to put back on our heritage and say, nah, we Israelites. But nah, you can't just be an Israelite. You got to be a black Israelite, meaning you separate from the real Israelites. You know what I'm saying? If we say we American, we can't just be American. We got to be an African American, meaning we the Americans that came from Africa. Everywhere we go, it's got to be a secondary. Oh, nah, you're not the Muslims. You the black Muslims. You know what I'm saying? You the nation of Israel. It's a separate Muslim. So the more we try to incorporate ourselves with these other nations, the more they show us they don't want us as a part of it. But however, if we carry ourselves with the law, statutes, and commandments, then we're gonna be put in place where they're one a part of it. And that's the next scripture I had. If you want me to go ahead and go to it, it's Deuteronomy chapter 4. Thou he only gave his law to Israel as a heritage, is what the brother brought out. You know what I'm saying? As a heritage, meaning this is something you pass down to your kids. This is something, you know what I'm saying? That's why when I read that scripture, it's like it comes a time where you ought to be teachers. You have one need that want to teach you again. It's because you're supposed to be taught how to treat people by your mama and daddy based on these laws, statutes, and commandments that the Lord gave us. Instead, you was taught by America. They taught you, you know what I'm saying, the 48 laws of power. They teach you, they teaching you, you know, everything. Like be good or Santa Claus ain't bringing you nothing for Christmas. They teaching you everything but the laws, statutes, and commandments. And now when you come back and you tell somebody to follow these laws, they negate the fact that, the moral principles that we standing on and look at it like you trying to stop them from doing something. Well, some people need to be stopped. Our people need these things to keep us in line. Else, the unaliving rate in Chicago might go down if we follow these laws. You know what I'm saying? The way people treat each other in the hood and these ghettos, barrios, and reservations might change if we was following and keeping these laws, because this is what was supposed to happen. If you don't mind, I'll grab one more and then I'll pass it right back to you, Thou Sharp. This is
Okay.
Deuteronomy 4
Want me to
and
read
5.
it for you, sir?
If you want to read it, you can read it. Deuteronomy 4 and 5.
Come. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4, verse 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my God commanded me.
This is Moses right here, and remember it said this was our heritage that he gave us, right? So just the same way the Lord gave it to Moses, he gave it to the people. So I done taught you these statutes and these judgments, even as the Most High, my power, have commanded me. So the same thing the Lord told me, this is what I'm telling y'all. Keep going.
That ye should do so in the land whither you go to possess it.
This is just like what Shah was saying. Not only did he give us these laws, he also gave us a land, and he gave us laws to even govern the land. When you should plant stuff, when you should not plant stuff, what you should pluck, what you should leave for the poor. When is the you know what I'm saying? Like when to do certain things. Based, this is all in the law. So not only did he just give us some land and say do whatever you want, he gave us the land and said this is how you run it. This is how you rule over your people. This is how you treat the person that you are a servant to, and this is how you treat the people that serve you. So everything has laws, and he only gave it to his people. So here's him laying it down for Moses. I have given you these laws that when you go into this land, this is how you must conduct yourself. This is how you got to act, right? When you go into and possess this land and you ruling over it, this is your government, right? So you keep your heritage. Go ahead to verse 6.
Come. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes, and say, surely surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
See, this is what's going on now. As you come back to being an Israelite, right? They want to make you out to be somebody bad, like you a terrorist or you doing something wrong or you in a cult. When the Lord gave this to make us better than everybody else. He gave us this so other nations would look on you and say, you know what I'm saying, this is a great and wise and understanding people. Not because we were so great and wise, but because of how we treat each other and how we conduct ourselves. They know that they can't do it. They God ain't tell them not to eat certain abominable foods and not to sleep with animals and do all this other stuff. Our God did. It's just like, you know what I'm saying? Who raised you? Know what I'm saying? You got home training. Our God gave us home training. Thawashah. You know what I'm saying? How you act when you out here? Don't go out here and embarrass me acting any kind of way because you know what the rules are, right? And they were supposed to look at us. And you know, you ever been out and you see somebody with bad kids, and then you see somebody who kids conducting themselves. They say yes, ma'am, and yes, sir. They ain't putting their hands all over stuff. They ain't running all wild. You say, oh, they was raised right. Well, that's what they supposed to have been saying about the nation of Israel. They God taught them statutes and commandments that made them wise and understanding. Go to verse 7.
Come. For what nation is there so great who have God so nigh unto them, as the Lord our God is in all things that we call upon him for?
And in us doing what we supposed to do, that heritage came with land, and it came with a covenant, and it came with laws, but it also came with blessings that came if we was to keep and follow those laws. And you can go and Deuteronomy 28 where we was going to go, and it'll tell you about what those blessings are, right? So if you calling on the Lord for something, he gonna do it because you are a good child. It's no different as every good parent would do. If your child is good and operating the way they're supposed to and following the rules, then you would want to reward them for doing that. And if they're bad and they not following the rules, then you would punish them for that. It's no different. Go ahead to verse 8.
Come. And what nation is there so great that have statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law, which I set before you this day?
This is what the nation's supposed to be saying about you, Israel. They not supposed to be trying to call you a byword like, oh yeah, you being an Israelite is something funny, like it's a joke to them. Nah, they know you better than them already. The only thing is you've been conducting yourself like a heathen. You've been conducting yourself like an animal for so long that they can pretend like that's really what you are. But you really the chosen people of God, and your heritage is keeping and doing what he said to do. And the moment you start to do that, just like if you go to Deuteronomy 7, It's like 3 chapters up. The same way he moved 7 nations greater than us out the way to give us this land, because he knew we was going. We had laws that conduct ourselves where we can get rich in that land and we can prosper. The same thing gonna happen again. That's where Yahushua came back to start. I'll pass it back over. I just wanted to show how this law was our heritage, and it also separated us. So if you Israelite, your job is to be separate from everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So Salagi.
Damn right, man. Y'all give it up, man. Give it up. Damn right. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what the Bible is all about. Like, that term Black Hebrew Israelite, like Oscar Zach said, is it's a derogatory term. Like, you get what I'm saying? To add the word black in front of it, right? It makes it derogatory. It's to say that as if you cannot be an Israelite. So you have to throw the black in front of it, because there's no way a black person could be considered the chosen people of God. You get what I'm saying? And nobody go out there and say white Jewish or Israeli. You get what I'm saying? When they, trying to identify the Jewish man. You get what I'm saying? They don't say, WJI, like they love to call us BHIs. You get what I'm saying? Black Hebrew Israelite, right? Because the thing is, they don't want to associate the fact that a black man could be chosen. A black man is Israel. He's an Israelite, not by conversion, but by race. Go ahead, sir.
Can we coin that term? WJI?
WJI.
instead of getting kicked off the YouTube, I would just say WJIs. When I say that, y'all know I mean white Jewish Israelis. You know what I'm saying?
God, yeah.
WJIs. I just wanted to say I like that, man. You keep going. That's like
God, what's that, guys? Yeah, it just it shows the double standard when it comes to us. You know what I'm saying? There is no such thing as a black Hebrew Israelite. You get what I'm saying? This is something that is part of our heritage, right? Part of our culture. Way before we came over here across the Atlantic Ocean, right? These are the customs and the laws that we practice amongst each other, right? Before we even came over here in America, where our identity was stripped from us, our names was changed, right? Our language was changed, right? We had a culture of our own, right? And it is the Israelites, the culture of the Bible, not the religion, right? There is no such thing as Christianity in the Bible. There's no Islam, there's no Judaism in the Bible, right? It all identifies who you are. Now, what was the next one you said? Deuteronomy 28, right? Got that real quick.
Yeah, I mentioned that one.
All right, we might as well grab it.
Wherever you want to go.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and grab that joint, man. Might as well. Also, Mashamar said we need to sift through the Lashawan Kodash to find terms that address them and beat the algorithm at the same time. Right, kind. I think I seen a general that was doing that too. With
they was using Edomite, Sodomite, you know what I'm saying, instead of the word that get you bad. Instead of that, they was just using the Bible, the biblical terms for it. So they never said, you know what I'm saying, like the Edomite is the devil the Bible speaks of. Like that can't get you hard. You know what I'm saying? All you Sodomites are going to be unalived. You know what I'm saying? Like let them slip through that. You know what I'm saying? If that's what they want to do. So
facts. But I forgot the Lashawan Kodash word that he used. He was using for the word bitch. He was using like Quabala.
It's Kalawab. It's like Caleb.
Kalawab. That's what it was. And then I forgot the one was for somebody effeminate. I forgot the Hebrew.
Yeah, I forgot that one too. I forgot that one.
Yeah. If y'all remember, type it in the chat, y'all. Type it in the chat.
I know Officer Hazahad was giving them to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
God.
Is it Kalamar? It's Kalamar.
Kalamar. Yeah, Kalamar. There you go. Kalamar, this is, our language. You know what I'm saying? Before we became slaves in America, this is how we talk to each other. Right, and we're gonna utilize that so that way, the oppressor ain't got no excuse of shutting us down. You know what I mean?
They may be forcing us to learn that Hebrew, man. They may be
Facts.
forcing us. We just gotta have
God.
a full class in a language that they do not understand in order for us to be able to reach out to our people, man, and not be censored. You know what I'm saying?
Damn right.
Salaki.
Also, too, that should let you know, man. Make sure that y'all tune in to the Friday classes with also Itazar, man. That brother be breaking it down. You want to learn your language, Black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, and who you are. Make sure you tune into these classes, y'all. So let's get that Deuteronomy 28 real quick.
Salaki.
Go ahead.
What verse?
What was the verse you called?
Oh, I said the
Byword,
proverb and the
kind.
byword.
Yeah, kind.
37.
37.
Con.
Yeah, if you got Oscar now, you can go ahead and read it.
Con. Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment,
Mhm.
a proverb, and a byword,
And a what?
and a byword.
A proverb and a byword, right? What he's reading about right there in this particular chapter in Deuteronomy 28 is the curses that or the punishments that the Lord said he will lay upon us if we did not keep his commandments, right? From verse 1 through 15 is all the blessings, right? All the things that we were supposed to inherit as his chosen people and keeping his laws, right? But from 16 on down all the way to 68 is what we'll inherit if we didn't keep his laws, for breaking his commandments, right? And one of the punishments that the brother just read is where our names is no longer going to be known as the chosen people of God. All right. Here in this captivity, we're not known as Israelites. You know what I'm saying? We're not known as Judah. We're not known as Levi, Benjamin, Ephraim, Issachar. You get what I'm saying? They call you a nigga before they ever call you, it gave you an identity. You get what I'm saying? You was a Negro, black, colored. You know what I'm saying? You ain't had no nationality or a nation that you can tie yourself to. All right. As soon as they see a Mexican person, they call them a what? A wetback, spit, a rapist, immigrants, right? These are titles that they use and they place on us as a proverb and a byword. And one of them also being called a Black Hebrew Israelite. You get what I'm saying? Like that is not our name, or nor is it tied to any religious belief. You know what I'm saying? Because also too, being a Hebrew or so-called Hebrew Israelite, right, is not only just Black people. You know what I'm saying? You got Hispanics and Native Indians as well. They Black as well too, but you know what I'm saying? Like as far as what the world classify them as, right? You got Hispanics and Native Indians too, right? But they radicalize Black people wanting to follow the Bible by titling it as Black Hebrew Israelite. So that way they can bunch everybody together and making it a movement of trying to show hatred towards other people. You get what I'm saying? They can bunch everybody up. So when one person mess up, they say, well, that's just how Black Hebrew Israelites believe. You get what I'm saying? When we're not all the same. We don't all believe the same thing. See what I'm saying? The Lord set up the ISUPK since 1969, and we always refer to ourselves as Israelites. Never have we ever called ourselves Black Hebrew Israelites or the Hebrew Israelites at that. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Salaki.
go ahead, sir.
We also have never said shalom either, but anyway,
Right.
Salaki. But now, what I wanted to say about what you were saying though, like it's amazing how like when you try to put back on your identity, the world will call you by who your oppressor is. In other words, like we were sold to our oppressors by the people that was neighbors to us in Africa, right? So when you say I'm an Israelite, they like, nah, you come from Africa, right? If we call some of the northern tribes like the Mexicans or the so-called Puerto Ricans or so-called Mexicans, they'll say, nah, they Spaniards, But the crazy part about it is the Africans know we ain't African, and the Spaniards know they ain't Spaniards. They don't
Right.
claim, you know what I'm saying?
God.
You try to come from up under your oppressor and go back and claim your identity as an Israelite, the more they try to make you what they've always called you. But I think they just been calling us that. They know who we really are. We just don't know. And I just
Yeah.
wanted to throw that in there. So,
God. Nah, that's heavy. That's right on point, man. Like they know exactly who they were selling on them slave ships to the European man. Right? If you ever seen a slave billboard that advertised for slaves, never have you ever seen where it was written on those flyers or billboards where it said Africans for sale or Nigerians for sale. You get what I'm saying? Or whatever they got going on over there, right? You know what I'm saying? It'll always say Negroes for sale, right? That lets you know that we was different from the natives of that region. You wasn't classified as the same as them, right? They didn't group us up and call us all African, right? They knew that these cats was Negroes, these was, natives of Africa. These was such and such tribe. You get what I'm saying? And here in 2023, we still want to tie ourselves to being African, right? When from the jump, we never was those people. We never was connected with them any shape, form, or fashion. Somebody says Salaki.
Come, sir. I finna say, just like when we had that talk with that African lady, and we was trying to tell her that we know what akata means, and she was trying to flip it around to make it seem like, oh, that's just a byword or whatever that they call each other, and they laugh about it. Clearly, she been groomed to um, so-called Negroes culture in America to know that we take things offensive. Being that her husband is a so-called Negro, he had the groomer to let her know, like, you can't say certain words. So when we approached her with it, she gave us the whole background lecture on how akata don't means cotton picker. It means female or some shit she was trying to say. It's like, nah, lady, we know what that means. Like we don't be trying to like sugarcoat it up, try to make it seem like because you got to do business with akatas. So you try to make them seem like it meant something else. Like, damn well it don't mean no female.
Right. God, you're exactly right. And for her to even have that whole spill lets you know that she heard it before. You get what I'm saying? And she
Right.
had to find a way to clean it up. Like, because they know this is commonly said amongst them. And she knows, if they going to say this a lot around them, I got to, find a way to make it show, they don't mess up my business. So, what I'm saying? She got some old, some lie behind it, man. But the truth of the matter is what the brother bringing out is that we are not Africans, man. We can't be the whole continent, right? A so-called Hispanic is not a Spaniard. You get what I'm saying? Like the people that come from Mexico, the natives of Mexico, right? They were known as Aztecs, right? Before the Spanish even came over there. The Mayans, the Incas, they was never speaking Spanish until the conquistadors came over there and conquered that region and forced them to speak Spanish, right? Until this day, they still not even get no reparations for it, or no help or no aid in all the slaughter that the so-called conquistadors did. You get what I'm saying? And because we are the chosen people of God, right? They'll label you as this radical movement to deter you from who you really are, right? But ain't nobody is labeling the WJI as a radical movement. Right now they are, right? People protesting, you know what I'm saying? But America will fund all their weapons and all their military to drop bombs in Palestine and all of that stuff. And they will never get ostracized or second guessed about who they are as a people when they doing this. You know what I'm saying? We haven't dropped bombs on nobody. You know what I'm saying? But we are the threat. We are the radicalized group. Somebody says, Salaki, my bad. Oh, my bad. The God, this is what they label us as, right? Jump me down to verse 68, Baba Kashai. And anything you want to add too, sir, you go right ahead.
Okay.
All right, you go ahead.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Right. So this is how. First, let me get verse. Was it verse 42? Let me get that real quick. Where it says it be as a sign and a wonder. Or is that 49 around there? I'm not sure. It's gonna be unto you as a sign.
46, sir.
46. Okay, God, the water word. If you could read that first real quick.
Come. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder,
For a
and
what?
upon thy for a sign and a wonder,
Read on.
and upon thy seed forever.
Right, as a sign and wonder upon thy seed forever. What does that mean? Right? Like if we use it in this analogy, like think about it as a treasure map. You have a treasure map in front of you, right? What are you looking for in order to find the treasure?
So like
Go ahead.
the X.
You're looking for the X. X marks the spot, right? Because that's
So,
the sign that symbolizes where the treasure is at. So if we look at what we're reading about right now, these curses, and if we want to know who the children of Israel are, or who the Israelites and the chosen people of God are, what we have to look for.
like, say that again, sir. So like,
If we want to know who the children of Israel are, right, in 2023, right, and we're looking for the signs, what signs will we be looking for in order to identify who these people are today?
So
we
look.
should be, so like,
I'll give Jaheim a chance.
Yeah.
we should be looking at the curses and see who it applies to.
There you go. The curses are a sign, right? From 16 on down is the sign. It's the X that marks the spot of who the chosen people are. Meaning, if they don't fall and fit within these punishments and these curses that we're reading about, they can't be the chosen people of God. Regardless if they converted to it, regardless if they wear a pepperoni hat. We probably can't even say pepperoni hat, right? That's why. Regardless if they wear them,
No, I think that's good.
That's good. Okay. Regardless of if they got tassels or whatever they do, right? If they don't fit these punishments that we're reading about, they are not the real Jew, nor are they the Israelites, right? So let's go back to 68 real quick.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Right. This is one of the signs to let you know who these people are today. He said the Lord will bring you back into Egypt again with what?
With ships.
With ships, right? The word Egypt is synonymous with what? What role did the Israelites play in the land of Egypt?
So like, we was on under them. We was serving them.
Slavery, right? In bondage.
Oh, okay.
Right? The Lord said he gonna place us in bondage. Again, the same servitude that we serve in Egypt, we're gonna do it all over again. But this time he's gonna bring us in this place of bondage with ships. Right? How did the Israelites get to Egypt the first time?
They walked.
They walked, right? It says 70 souls. It's a famine in that region. They walk. If you look on a world map, right? If you look on a map on that region, those land masses are what? They connected, right?
Come on.
Like, for the most part, you don't need a ship to get from Israel, from the Middle East to Egypt, right? But the Bible is giving you a prophecy to let you know what type of bondage this is. He said, I'm going to place his chosen people into bondage. This time is going to be with ships. Now, name any point in time in world history where a people was placed on ships to serve out slavery. Anybody want to answer?
So like
Go ahead.
blacks and Hispanics.
All right, kind. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, what they call the transatlantic slave trade. Right? They stocked up thousands of millions of black people, Hispanic people, Native Indian people, and sell them back and forth across the Atlantic Ocean. Right? It was a whole system, a whole economic system on how they gain wealth on this earth. So that should let you know that this sign that we're reading about could only fit who?
Blacks and Hispanics and Native
I
Indians.
mean, I don't think it fits the WJI people. Have they ever been on slave ships?
Uh,
Right? And we're reading this out of their own book, right? The Torah, isn't not the Torah the first 5 books of the Bible? If you read the Torah, it will tell you in there as well too about these curses and how he's going to send his people into slavery with ships. So how is it that in their own book they can even self-identify as being the Jews as well too? Somebody's lying, right? Somebody lying, sir. I don't know. So
it ain't their book.
it ain't they book, right? Somebody says a lot again.
come. I was gonna wait till you finish, so I got
No,
something.
yeah, you got it. You got it.
Come. I could read this page out of Babylon and Timbuktu,
Come on, get down with it.
page 133. It says, according to biblical prophecy, the black Hebrews were supposed to have gone into slavery and captivity. Thus, we read of the prophet Jeremiah saying, Judah is gone into captivity because of affliction, and because of great servitude. She dwelt among the heathen. She findeth no rest. All her persecutors overtook her between the straits. And it says, it's like prophecy is similar to history in one respect, that it so like that is it repeat itself. Dude, that's awesome. It's like
Nah, no sweat, no sweat. God, I mean, I guess you reading it from a historical standpoint, right? What's his name? Randolph. What's his name? Babylon and Timbuktu, right? This brother wrote it from a historic. That's his name, right? God, he wrote it from a historical standpoint, right? The archaeological evidence of it, right? Of us traveling from that region all the way here to America, right? Showing how it fits the prophecies of the Bible. That should let you know that it's not only just biblical, it's also historical. All the evidence is there. All right. And this is just one point of that verse that we're reading about that fits us. So if you don't come from the people of the transatlantic slave trade, that's strike one against you. Right? Any more on that?
Come on, sir. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
Now, this is another part. Moses is saying, by the way thereof I speak unto you, thou shalt see it no more again. Right? The way that they was heading to is what they refer to as the promised land, right? Their homeland, the land of Israel, right? While they was in the wilderness, Moses was leading them or teaching them how to keep the commandments of God so they can make it into the quote unquote promised land, the land of Israel right now, right? Where everybody's bombing each other for, right? Now, he's saying the way thereof that I'm trying to lead you to, guess what? You ain't going to see it no more again. That's another strike too, because guess what? As blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, can nobody tell us what landmass we belong to prior to us arriving here on slave ships? Nor is it even commonly taught, right, in the history schools, in the libraries, in the museums, what nation we belong to prior to us becoming a slave. How is it that these people claim to be Jews or the people of the book or the chosen people of God, the Israelites, but yet they're in that land right now, claiming to be those people, have not been into slavery, have not been scattered in that land, killing thousands of people, all in the name of what? Not the Bible, not in the name of God, but all in the name of wealth and resources and greed. Because they don't fit the prophecies of this book. We are the only people that don't know who we are. So when we try to get back to who we are, they try to confuse you with words like Black Hebrew Israelite. They try to tell you, no, that's a radical movement. That's some political, Black power movement. That's all it is. You know what I'm saying? It'll be here one day, gone the next day. Right? When this is Black people actually taking back their heritage that was lost from them. Right? Anything y'all want to add? I don't want to keep on rambling. All right. Go ahead.
Can I read verse 48 real quick, sir?
Let me just finish this verse out real quick, and then we'll get to verse 48.
Come.
All right, you could finish that real quick. Also cannot.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
You shall be what?
Sold unto your enemies.
All right. So these are the three factors, the 3 points of what we're reading about. You had to go into slavery on slave ships. Right? You have to be a people with no identity. And the last part is that you had to be sold on auction blocks. Sold as slaves. All right? These things is what was prophesied to the chosen people of God. So that when this actually comes to pass, they'll be able to trace back their heritage and knowing who they are. You think your enemy is going to teach you who you really are? He's your enemy. You get what I'm saying? Like, you think he's going to sit you down and be like, you an Israelite and I just took you over here and you the chosen. He's not going to do that, right? So the Lord left us these prophecies so we can do the research. So we can trace back our heritage back to who we are. And as we trace back our heritage, we'll understand that, hey, we're not supposed to be living like this. I can't be eating this. I can't be doing that. Right? Because that's not part of my heritage, right? Everybody is big now to connect with your ancestors now. You know what I mean? Everybody want to connect with their ancestors and all of that, right? But the thing is, they're not putting structure and laws in place when they talk about connecting with their ancestors, right? If you really want to connect with your ancestors, go back to what the food they ate, right? What about the clothes they used to wear? What language did they speak? What land did they used to live on? If you want to really connect with your ancestors, right? And the number one resource that you can use to connect with your ancestors is right here, the Bible. You don't need no sage. You don't need no rocks. You don't need you don't need no bees and none of that. Read the Bible and you'll connect with your ancestors. You gonna say something? My bad.
Yeah, I was just gonna say they fake woke. They fake woke. They want to act like that. You know what I'm saying? Like you saying, they want to throw on a dashiki, like that's the clothing of the ancestors, but they ain't gonna put no plate in their lip. They not gonna deal with the cow dung. They not gonna drink their blood like them Africans that they trying to throw them dashikis on for or none of that. So they just fake woke. And in the same way, there's some Israelites that do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? They want to tie these little zeets at the bottom of their t-shirt, but they don't want to actually live these laws, statutes, and commandments like the Lord told us to, and actually be a brother to their brother like our King Yahweh Shah told us to. So it's a lot of fake woke people out there. Don't be one of them. You know what I'm saying?
Damn right, man. They're right. Give it up, man. Give them a head. You know what I mean? Like it's all BS. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, because none of it ties to an actual identity. None of it. Whatever form of spirituality that you claim to follow, if it don't tie you to your actual identity, then it is a lie. Right? It's cool to have belief. I understand. We're trying to empower ourselves. I get it. We've been abused for over 400 years. Right? But it's time that we really take into fact who we really are and do the due diligence of researching of who you are. right? Understanding what your language, your food, all these things matter. If it matters to them, right? Every nation on earth keep a good uh collection of their records. Every nation, right? Some of them will even promote it in their museums, right? And they'll big up their figures, their ancestors. They keep their heritage important to them. You can't tell a Scottish man not to wear a kilt. That's his heritage. You get what I'm saying? You can't tell some Ethiopian not to, do what Ethiopians do. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Whatever their heritage is, they will hold on to it. You get what I'm saying? Well, guess what? As Black people, it's very important that we hold on to our heritage as well, too. It's very important. Every nation has that God-given right. It's part of their human rights to hold on to who they are. For us as Black people, we have that same right as well, too. You don't have to march for it. You don't have to beg for it, and none of that. All you have to do is serve God. That's your heritage. Read the Bible and understand who you really are, right? Any more on that? That was it. Anything you want to add to, sir? My bad.
Look,
There was more on that, Oscar Canuck.
sir.
All
And it
right, you
said,
go ahead.
there you should be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
And no man shall buy you. That's an old English word for save you. No man shall save you. We are still in the same land that we were sold at. Ain't that ironic? You know what I mean? The same land that we were sold as slaves, this is where we're raising our sons and daughters. Never we was ever given an opportunity to return back to where we came from. There was no push behind it. There was no political movement behind it, right? There ain't nobody gather up the funds to make sure that Black people got back to their homeland after slavery. None of that. No African came and got you. None of that. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody's going to save you, man. That's how you know you are the Israelite. You gonna say something, Canuck?
Oh yeah, sir. I was going to say that I ain't seen not one canoe sail over here. You know what I'm saying? And then, like a couple years back, I don't know, it was one of those leaders of one of the countries in Africa apologized for selling us into slavery. Do you see that on the news? No, it's probably like 2 years, like a year ago or 2 years ago.
You had cut out. You can repeat that one more time,
I was saying like maybe like 2 years ago, a year ago, like one of those African leaders apologized for their role in the transatlantic slave trade. And that's how you know that we ain't the same people. Like, why would he be apologizing to his own folks?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Knowing
like
that.
if I could.
Mm-hmm.
No, I was just gonna say the reason they doing that is what they was putting on display. They want you to come and spend your hard-earned money that you slave for over here in America, over there in what they call the motherland. You know what I'm saying? They want you to come over to Nigeria and spend some of that tourist money. So they don't want you to feel no type of way, but they know, you know what I'm saying, with people like Officer Thawashab and Officer Kanak on the street corners telling you, they know that you know by now that the Africans is the one who sold you to the oppressor. So that's what it is. That's what they ain't got no choice but to apologize.
Oh God. If I may too, not too long ago as well, Haiti tried to submit an application to be a part of the African Union, and they was denied. You know what I'm saying? Like Africa, right? The African Union denied Haiti and said the reason being is because they wasn't African enough.
They wasn't African enough. That's
You,
right.
you get but yet the world will teach you that Haitians came from Africa, right? If that's the case, we are your sisters and brothers. We should be a part of your union. If that's the case, right? But even they know, like, listen, these Haitians is not us. You know what I'm saying? Because the Haitians are from the tribe of Levi, right? African Americans are not African American. They're from the tribe of Judah. You get what I'm saying? Like the Lord gave us a heritage. He gave us a race. And that's all we're doing here. In ISCPK, that's all we're doing. Ain't no spookism. You know what I'm saying? We ain't chanting and, rocking back and forth, trying to conjure up spirits in some dark room. We ain't doing none of that. You know what I'm saying? We all just practicing the customs.
Yeah, he went out.
Yeah, I saw that. Back up.
Hold on. Yeah, I'm back out real quick.
Salaki, sir, if I may.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just finna say that. What the hell is being African enough? Like, what they ain't, what is being African enough? You ain't
I
what
just told you what it
bathing.
is.
Yeah, you're bathing in cow pee and stuff. You ain't,
Yeah, that you gotta prove yourself. Is you really down
that's
for me?
crazy.
Are you really
I would
down
have
for
been
me
like,
now?
right. I would have been like, the hell with y'all then. I ain't gotta live in no hut to say to somebody I'm African or something like that. I ain't gotta have flies around my eyeballs and my lips that say, "Oh, that's African enough." Like, nah.
And the thing is, like, really, they wouldn't have never done that, unless they just try. They know that they not accepted by they oppressor, like, you know what I'm saying. The oppressor that we have over here ain't gonna never accept them, so they got to try to get in where they fit in. You know what I'm saying? That's really what it's all about.
Right. Like, I don't know what happened, but hope y'all can hear me now. If I could, can I get a time check, Baba Kasha?
Yeah, it's 8:13.
8:13. Any other scriptures? We can drop that. Let me get you already pulled Psalms 147. Let me get what is it, Amos 3? 3 and 1.
That was the next one too. That's
Right.
crazy. Who taught you, man? The same dude that taught you must have taught me, man.
God, man. We one body, right? We trying to build back our government, man. Let me see what the chat's saying. Also, Mashamar said, not Scipio Africanus enough. He said they don't even realize that African is a byword for them. God.
Boy, say you ain't Scipio Africanus enough. That's funny.
Facts. Like you ain't. That's crazy, man. But yeah, let's get that Amos 3 real quick.
Okay.
You got it, boy.
The book of Amos, chapter 3. Can it start at 1?
Con, Baba Kasha, so you can start at 1.
The book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 1. Hear this word that the Lord hath spoken against you, O children of Israel.
Oh, who?
O children of Israel.
So that word again, Israel, right? This is who the Lord's portion belongs to. This is God's chosen people, man. Right? By race and bloodline. Right? Read on.
Against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt.
All right. Who is the people that he brought out the land of Egypt? The Israelites. All right. Read on.
Saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth.
Read that one more time.
You only have I known of all the families of the earth.
God only knows and cares about so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You know why? Because we are the Israelites. All right? You didn't have to convert to be one. Listen, here's the thing too. Regardless if you believe you're an Israelite or not, right? Or if you want to practice the laws and statutes and commandments, guess what? You're still an Israelite. You get what I'm saying? Like, this is your identity through your ancestry, right? This is not something that you can just, get rid of, right? This is part of your DNA of who you really are. You know what I'm saying? And God only chose us out of everybody on this earth. You know what I'm saying? He made us a special people to keep his laws, statutes, and commandments. Right? Read on.
Con. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities.
Right. And for us breaking his commandments, right? This is the reason why we don't know who we are. Like we read in Deuteronomy 28. This is the reason why we in the slums, in the ghettos, calling ourselves African Americans, calling ourselves Haitians, calling ourselves Puerto Ricans, Jamaican, and all these other bywords that our oppressors placed on us. You know what I'm saying? Because we're being punished by God, right? And he allowed our enemies, people that hate our guts, to rule over us. And what do you think your enemy is going to do? He's going to make sure that you never come out on top. And once you serve God and come back to your identity, guess what? You'll come right on top. You'll rule right over him. And he don't want that to happen. So he makes sure he label you as a black Hebrew Israelite. Or he label you as a radical hate group. You know what I'm saying? Well, the Christians is doing more killing than any other beliefs out there. Going in the prison system. Right? Islam, right? Islam is a jailhouse religion. Every criminal that goes to jail comes out a what? A Muslim. You know what I'm saying? Every drug dealer got a Christian cross around his neck. Or rocking a Jesus piece, a Caesar Borgia piece. Right? While they selling dope. You know what I'm saying? The old Italian movies used to show it too. They go in the confessional and say Father God and all that stuff and go whack somebody after that. You know what I'm saying? And murder somebody right after that. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what they used to do. You know what I mean? Like, this is their beliefs because they are a murderous people, man. You know what I mean? And don't nobody label them as a hate group. You know what I mean? Somebody said Salaki, my bad. I thought I heard somebody say Salaki. Right? Any more on that?
No.
All right. Let me get Ecclesiasticus 33 and 10. All right.
Okay.
Right. Don't ever let somebody make you believe that you're crazy for keeping God's laws. All right. Every nation needs laws. All right. The thing is, you don't understand that you are God. You are God's nation, God's chosen nation. Right. You got that for me, real quick.
Con, sir.
If I think you read
Ecclesiasticus.
let me go let Jaheim read Bible Shop. My bad. I know you read last time. I'll let Jaheim.
I got it.
All right.
Book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 33, verse 10. And all men are from the ground,
Mm-hmm.
and Adam was created of earth.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 11. And much knowledge the Lord hath divided them, and made their ways diverse.
Right. Made their ways diverse. The Lord created all people on this earth. He made the Chinese, Japanese, Africans, East Indians. He made everybody on this earth. All right. Read on.
Come, verse 12. Some of them hath he blessed and exalted, and some of them hath he, and some of them he sanctified.
Mm-hmm. Some he blessed and exalted. All right. Read on and sanctified. Read on.
And set near himself.
Right. Like we read throughout all the scriptures that we brought out, the scriptures that Oscar Zach brought out, right? Showing that who God's chosen people are, right? Which is so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. We are the ones who the Lord sanctified and brought nigh unto himself. Read on.
Come. But some of you're wrong. Come. But some of them have he cursed and brought low.
But some of them, guess what? He made them out to be a nation of criminals, cavemen. You know what I'm saying? Some of them he gave them and brought them low. He didn't make them their chosen. That's just how it is. Even though we're all humans, we all can't be chosen, right? Don't you have different variations of animals? Don't you have different variations of plants? Making us human don't make us all the same, right? And us being so-called blacks and Hispanics and Native Indians, right? We are the Israelites. The Lord made us holy from everybody else, made us separate from everybody else. And what makes us separate is the way we live. That's what makes us separate, right? You know what makes Dubai separate from the US, right? Like I mentioned earlier in the class, what makes it separate? Name some things. What makes Dubai different from the United States of America? Go ahead.
The laws.
Their laws, right? Their laws make them different. Here in America, you can come outside fully butt naked in a damn two-piece. You ain't gonna, nobody's gonna say nothing about it. Guess what? You try to do the same thing in Dubai, you're going to jail. Right? That's how they choose to govern their society. Now, there's no hate behind it. There's no religious belief behind it. They understand that this is the most best way possible to govern their people. So they create laws that cater to that, to their people, right? Well, guess what? The Lord has us in his best interest as well, too. And as his nation, right, he gave us laws, statute, commandments that best governs us. That fits us the best. You get what I'm saying? When we stop eating crab, shrimp, pork, and lobster, guess what? We're going to stop dying of high blood pressure. This is why we the number one leading in high blood pressure. Right? When we stop having unlawful sex, this is what? We'll stop dying of STDs and AIDS. When we have the highest rate of it here in America. Because we're trying to follow a custom that doesn't cater to us as a people. It doesn't fit our best interests as a nation. You get what I'm saying? But the Bible does. When we practice it, guess what? We can get rid of all these things that plague us. All right, read on.
God, and turn out of their places. Verse 13. As the clay is in the potter's hand, to fashion it at his pleasure, so man is in the hand of him that made him to render to them as liketh him best.
Read that part one more time.
Come. Verse 13. As the clay is in the potter's hand, to fashion it at his pleasure, so man is in the hand of him that made him to render to them as liketh him best.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like the Lord, he's the one that's fashioning people and creating them how he seemed fit to dwell on this earth. He made this people to live right here in this region. That's your portion. Created these people like this to live in this region. That's their portion. But when it comes to us, he created us, took his time, and gave us his law, statute, commandments, and made us his portion. You get what I'm saying? Like we were given these laws as the chosen people of God. Right? This is something that we still have to follow today. Right? Read on.
Come, verse 14. Good is set against evil, and life against death. So is the godly against the sinner.
So is the what?
The godly against the sinner.
Guess what? There's many things that's contrary from one another on this earth. There's no two things alike on this earth. You get what I'm saying? Like you got hot, cold, night, day. You get what I'm saying? Well, guess what? God, the Lord, made godly people and he made sinful people. He made good people and he made evil people. He made people to be righteous and he made a people that would be wicked and evil. Well, guess what? These laws is what makes us righteous. Right? And it was only given unto us. as a heritage, as our culture. You get what I'm saying? But the other people, when they do what they do, they not the chosen. You know what I'm saying? That we can't be following after that. But when they do what they do, that's what they do. You know what I'm saying? They are sinful by nature. That's who they are. They don't know how to be brotherly. They don't know understand love and none of like that. They only understand game or what fills their belly. Like Esau. You know, Esau is a perfect example. Nigga gave up his birthright for what? For a morsel of meat, right? That should tell you about human nature and what type of people that descend from him. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Salaki.
Go ahead.
In the perfect spirit of Esau, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is what the Israelites, and I'm talking about the ones they call Black Hebrew Israelites, are learning from Esau. That they doing those things that make them feel good temporarily is more important than their heritage, which is what the Lord was trying to give you.
God. Good night. Cuddle with God. Like they will give up, whatever they got to give up just so they can be satisfied for that particular moment, that one little moment of satisfaction. They're willing to go against God for it, give up their whole heritage for it, bomb whoever for it, not knowing there's a whole slew of consequences behind that decision. But yet, they don't consider the consequences, just like Esau. He ain't consider it. That's why he was crying and ready to kill Jacob. Well, if he understood how important that was, he would have held on to it. But he didn't care about the importance, right? And that's the same nature of your oppressor today. You don't care about the ozone layer. You don't care about the sea. You don't care about the people who live on the land. You don't care about none of that stuff. If he wants gold, he gonna get gold right now. You get what I'm saying? If he wants oil, he gonna get it now. He needs oil.
Who cares how many earthquakes and tsunamis gonna happen as a result of them? We'll deal with that when we get to
it. He needs it now. He don't give a damn. God, you know what I mean? That's how they live their life, man. But Buffalo, you gonna say some more? So I can say.
I just seen a story today. There was 19 volcanoes that erupted at once.
You said what? My bad. Damn. Y'all can hear me?
Come. I seen a story today. It said there were 19 volcanoes that erupted at the same time.
19 volcanoes that erupted. You know what I'm saying? Well, I mean, regardless if the European has something, I'm sure he probably does drilling holes. I don't know. You know what I mean? But this man will do whatever for a little bit of satisfaction, man.
It's like you know how we is in the truth. Stuff like that happen. We be like, La Yashala, man. Like, like man, raise it.
Oh God. Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? Somewhere along down the lines, it's the oppressor's fault. Somewhere, yeah. Some way, somehow, you know what I mean? He is the cause of it, you know what I mean? And we rejoice at stuff like that, man. If I could get a time check.
8:36, sir.
Damn. All right. Bubbity. Any more? What verse you was on?
I'm at the end of 14.
And the 14. All right, you can drop that. Let me get Matthew 15. I mean, my fault. Matthew 5 and 17. Bible Shah.
Come. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 17. Think not that I am come to destroy the laws or the prophets.
Right now, this is Jesus Christ coming on the scene. Right, as a Jew, he understands the importance of maintaining his heritage and his customs of his ancestors. Right, and he's letting you know that he didn't come to do away with their heritage, which is the laws of God. He didn't come to get rid of it. he understands that this is needed to sustain themselves as a nation, like every other government does. Right? Read on.
Come. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
Mm-hmm.
Verse
You can read that.
18.
You can read that part one more time.
Come. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
Right. He didn't come to get rid of it, but he came to make sure that you do and keep the commandments. You get what I'm saying? Or else your government is going to imagine America. Imagine this. If America said all the laws are done away with, you ain't got to keep none of the laws. Guess what's going to happen to America overnight?
Hey, don't they got a movie about it? It's like Purge or something like that. Like,
Karokai, yeah. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah, Karokai, yeah. They got a movie called The Purge. What do he say? You free to do whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying?
24 hours.
And you see what happened in that movie. You think people was being nice and considerate of each other, and everybody was just so friendly during the purge, right? If there was no laws put in place, guess what majority of people would do? Run wild, do whatever they want to do. It will steal whatever they want to steal, kill whoever they want to kill, because there's nobody out there to implement the law. You get what I'm saying? So every nation understands the simple fact that they need laws in order to create law and order within their land. You get what I'm saying? To make sure that their land or their government is functioning as a good society. You get what I'm saying? Well, it's no different when it comes to us. Even if we don't have a landmass, but as a people, we have laws. We have laws to make sure that we're not out there shooting each other. Make sure we ain't selling drugs and living like the purge. You get what I'm saying? So our nation do not fall. We make sure that we keep the laws. And that's what Christ was teaching us. So we don't become destroyed. Keep God's laws. Right? Somebody was going to say something?
hey, Salaki, if I could,
Mm-hmm.
If you don't mind, can we just go to? I don't know if you was finished with that scripture that you was at. When you finish it, can we go to Acts 1 real quick? I want to show you something about what you're saying. That's heavy.
Kindly, you want me to grab it now, or just finish this out real quick?
Yeah, finish what you doing, and we could go to that next.
Okay. Kind. So continue on if you could, Johnny.
Come, verse 18. For verily I say unto you, to heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law.
Right, read on.
Till all be fulfilled. Verse 19. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments, and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven.
Right, he shall be called least in the kingdom of heaven. Right, you're going to be looked at as a criminal within God's nation or God's kingdom. Right, just like every nation has a justice system set up. Well, guess what? God nation has a justice system set up as well too. And if you're a habitual offender, guess what? He has judgments that's put in place to make sure that you don't, continue in the crime that you committed or continue in the sin that you committed. And those people who continue to break God's commandments, they're going to be called least in the kingdom of heaven. In his government, you're going to be least. You're going to be looked at as the second class or criminal, you know what I'm saying, of his nation, right? Read on.
Con out of one con. But whosoever shall do them, but whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven.
Right. This is what the Bible is saying. Not saying if you're a good Christian. Not saying if you're going to church on Sunday or if you're real religious. but if you're keeping God's laws, right? So you can drop that if we're gonna get the Acts 1 that you was referring to, sir.
Yeah, Khan. If Canuck, can you read it? Acts 1 for me. Acts 1 and give me verse 2. No, then give me verse 3. Go ahead
The
and
book
start
of
at verse
Acts.
4, Salaki.
Slaki, sir, you say start at verse 4.
Khan.
Okay. The book of Acts, chapter 1, verse 4. And being assembled together with them, commanded them that they should not depart from Jerusalem, but wait for the promise of the Father, which saith he, Ye have heard of me. For John truly baptized with water, but ye shall be baptized with the Holy Spirit not many days hence. When they therefore were come together, they asked of him, saying, Lord, wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom
See,
to Israel?
the reason why I came here is like this is after Christ died and was resurrected, right? And he's in the midst of his disciples, and he's saying to them, you know what I'm saying, like, don't go to Jerusalem, but wait on the promise of the Lord. That's what he told them, right? This is what he told the Israelites. Now, to keep in mind, the WJIs don't believe in Christ at all. But this was what he gave them after he died and resurrected. Like, wait. As a matter of fact, he told them, when you see Jerusalem compassed with armies, get up out of there, like what happened in 70 AD. But the reason I'm bringing this out is because he's breaking stuff down to them. And then he says, when they came together, they asked him, will thou at this time restore the kingdom of Israel? And this let you know they understood them having a heritage. They understood them being in a position of rulership. They understood them being over the land. You got to remember, at the time of Christ, the Romans was over that land. They was ruling over the Israelites, and they was using the Pharisees as a sect to govern the Israelites, basically to babysit the Israelites, so they ain't too much have to deal with them. They ain't care what you did, long as you pay them taxes, and they let the Israelite, the like what we would call today the black church, govern the Israelites that was there. So now they sitting with Christ after he done died and resurrected. He in the midst of them, breaking things down to them about John and all kinds of stuff. And then he asked them, he said, do you remember certain things? I mean, they asking Christ, will you at this time restore the kingdom? Like, we want our heritage back. We want our inheritance. We want our land. We want these Romans up out of our land. Is you gonna restore us at this time? Right? And you'll see from Christ's response that they didn't really understand the only reason they didn't have the inheritance was the things that he was trying to teach them the whole time he was here. They didn't have their inheritance because they left the law, statutes, and commandments. They didn't have their inheritance because they wanted to be like the other nations. They didn't have their inheritance, which was the land. It was governed by other groups of people, is because the Lord wasn't with them. So as he telling them to clean yourself up, learn how to treat your brother, come back, they don't understand that this is what you got to do to come back and be a nation again. This is what you got to do to piece the nation back together, so the Lord will want to give you that land. So as Tawashab is bringing out eloquently with these BHIs, was what they calling them. They calling them BHIs, right? The children of Israel was already in a position where they was wondering what was going on when it came to uh, when Christ was going to restore the kingdom. They wasn't understanding that the restoration of the kingdom came by the people of Israel restoring and turning from disobeying the Most High. So they asking Christ, like, is you going to restore the nation at this time? And they don't understand him telling them to keep the law, statutes, and commandments was the way to restore Israel. It wasn't picking up a gun and going and offing all the Romans. You know what I'm saying? That's what they thought he was coming to do. He telling them the only reason you're not in a position of power now is because the Lord ain't with you. So everything he been teaching them about repent and coming back, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. They don't even understand that it was going back to your heritage, going back to your culture, and getting your these laws, statutes, and commandments so that you can regain your land, regain a covenant with the Most High, and He can move your enemies out the way the same way He did in Deuteronomy 7, when He moved 7 nations mightier than us out the way. You understand what I'm saying? So in the Acts, they still waiting on, like, saying, was Christ going to restore the kingdom? But they didn't understand that they had to restore themselves and come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments. Like, that was your inheritance. That's what you should have been worried about. Getting back in a good covenant with the Most High. They worried about getting back in the land. And y'all might not know this, but me being on this internet and these apps, there are Israelites that think like that right now. They thinking about getting back, going back to the land, and then all you got to do is ask them one question: who's going to rule? Who is going to be the authority? What government we gonna have? What rules we gonna follow? Know what I'm saying? Is women gonna be teaching? Is there gonna be weed there? You start asking all the questions that the law already established for us, you realize that nobody is fit to rule but our King, Yahweh Shai. And the man that follow him and sit in Peter's seat right now, commanding General Yana, everybody else is confused. They don't know what's going on. And I'm just saying, when they was asking Christ, was he going to restore the kingdom? What they should have been asking themselves is, they going to keep these law, statutes, and commandments. Salaki.
Damn right, sir. You know what I mean? That's what it's all about. You know what I mean? Well, if I could, what time it is?
8:50, sir.
Let me get one more Baruch 4-1.
Oh, that's perfect.
Perfect.
That's perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah. All right. So hope this class gave y'all a little bit of clarity of what an Israelite is, who is God chosen, and why they do what they do. Why is it that they? What was that?
Oh, so like, I didn't know I was off mute. I was saying, you said why they do what they do when they do.
God, right. Well, what they do. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, this is something that we should understand as Black people, of knowing who we are. You know what I mean? So if you got that word, you can go ahead and read.
You said 4-1?
About shot.
Kind out of one kind. This is the book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of God.
This book called the Bible is the book of what?
The commandments.
No, of Christianity.
The commandments.
No, of Islam.
The commandments.
All spirituality and just being one with yourself.
The commandments.
The commandments is laws written in these between these pages is laws, man. That's what's written in here. It's not religion. You know what I'm saying? It's laws on how to govern a particular nation. Not all nations, but one particular nation. Right? Read on.
This is the book of the commandments of God, and the law that endureth forever.
And the law that endureth forever. Read on.
All they that keep it shall come to life.
All they that do what?
Keep it shall come to life.
Guess what? This is how you save your nation. This is how you do it. All right? This is how you save Black people, Hispanic people, and Native Indian people. If you want to save them, you have to give them laws. Not any old laws, but God laws. All right? And with God laws, we'll be able to get our sons and daughters out of the condition that they're in right now. And there's nothing behind, like I mentioned many times in this class, right? It's nothing behind any religion. It has everything to do with making sure our people are saved and taken care of, and our nation is built back up. And we have all the resources that we need, just like any other nation. Right? You think the Chinese is is concerned with the affairs that's outside of their borders? Like you think, like think about it. You think a Chinese person is more focused on what, let's say, East India is doing and making sure that they're rich and wealthy before they do that for their own? If the people of China do that, guess what happened to the nation of China? Help me out. What's gonna happen? They're gonna what? They're gonna fall, right?
Yeah,
They're
God.
gonna fall. Right? Every nation makes sure that their main interest is the people of their nation. All right, that's their main interest. All right. Well, when us as a people as well, we got to make sure our main interest is us and nobody else. So that way we can flourish just like China's flourishing. You get what I'm saying? That's where we can flourish just like any other nation is flourishing. But don't nobody consider them a hate group. And they actually got weapons. You get what I'm saying? Weapons that can wipe out nations. But nobody's considered each and every one of them a hate group, or each and every one of these nations that exists on this earth as a hate group, right? Because it's basic human necessity. That's all it is. That's all. It's basic human nature. This is what they need to survive. Well, guess what? Black people, you are human too, right? The thing is, you're not just any old human. You God's chosen people. And because who we are is attached to the Bible, don't make it a religion. Or it don't make it a belief. But it's more so a structure and a law that we have to follow to make sure that we live on this earth. Somebody said Salaki?
Nah, I didn't, but I was thinking
Oh,
it.
my bad. Go ahead, sir. My bad.
Can you hear what I'm thinking? Nah,
I might.
what I was just gonna say though, nah, it's so important because what you said, it just reminded me of what Jeremiah brought out on Thursday on how the Israelites teaching the same thing the WJIs is teaching, right?
Yeah.
And ain't nothing wrong with them saying we better than everybody. We gonna have people serve us. We God's chosen people. Ain't nobody thinking about them being a hate group. They looking down and ruling over all of the entertainment business. They got the stock in the prisons. They got the Hollywood. They got everything, and nobody's looking at it like they're a hate group when they really hating on people. Right? They really hate those people. But are you saying it for the sake of giving your people their identity back and changing their life and getting crack out the ghetto and stopping people from unaliving each other and so on and so forth? And you considered a terrible person. You are a black Hebrew Israelite. You are the same people that was in charge, and they called the Dark Ages. Everything got to be dark and black and terrible, and you are a terrorist and so on and so forth. And we ain't bombed nobody in Palestine. The WJIs is doing that. They the hate group. We ain't oppressing nobody. The WJIs is doing that. They the hate group. And like it's bragging like as Israelites, all we try to do is build our family back together. Like you say, black man ain't in the house. I'm trying to put a black man in the house. I'm trying to make Thawar Shab and Kanak the uncle. Put the uncles back in the community to raise the kids. You know what I'm saying? And we a hate group because I love my brother. Nah, that's ridiculous. Like, come on now. It's a lot.
Damn right, sir. Damn right, man. Like, how could you hate that? How could you hate that? How could you hate somebody getting off of drugs? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how could you hate somebody being a criminal? Like, hate somebody stop being a criminal. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's all we doing by coming back to who we are. By coming back to these law, statute, commandments, we're lessening the crime that goes on within our community. or within our race, right? We're lessening the plagues and the trauma that we face day in and day out. This is something that we need as a people. And for somebody to label that as hate is only doing one thing. They're only just trying to confuse you and deter you from finding out who you are. That's all they're trying to do. But when it comes to their own, they're gonna make sure that their own is taken care of.
Right.
They're gonna make sure they fed. They're gonna make sure all the opium and the opioids is not being pushed in their communities. They're gonna make sure they have all the resource centers, you know what I'm saying, all the rehab centers. They're gonna make sure they get the businesses, the jobs, and all of that for their communities. You know what I'm saying? Well, guess what? As a quote unquote black Hebrew Israelite, you know what I'm saying, we need the same things. And we are tired of begging for it. There's no need to beg for it nowadays. In 2023, you ain't got to march for it. We have to decide amongst ourselves as a people of what we need to do on this earth. Don't let your oppressor dictate it. You know what I'm saying? He ain't your God. Don't let him allow you to tell you what you can believe or what you can't believe. He's the same person that tell you a rabbit lays eggs. You know what I'm saying? He'll tell you how some damn star in the sky is predicting your whole day. You know what I'm saying? That's how they live. You know what I'm saying? But for us, we can have the right to make the decision for ourselves, man. You know what I'm saying? And we decide that we are Israelites, chosen people of God. All right, so with that, man, anything else, man? Anything y'all want to add, sir?
Nah, man, I just want to say the WJIs is the devil that the Bible speaks of.
That's
WJI.
WJIs, man. Damn right, man. Make sure y'all pay your tithes. Florida Cookout, man. December 21st through the 23rd. Florida Cookout, man, is gonna be at Riviera Beach. Make sure y'all stop on by. All the information is on our social media, so make sure you interact with us, man, so you can be informed. War as usual, 9:30. You already know. If you ain't subscribed to War as usual, you said what? What you said?
Pay your Passover fee.
Pay your Passover fee, $200. You know what I'm saying? $200 per adult. You know what I'm saying? For this Passover. Listen, Commander Jenny Han already foot the bill. You know what I'm saying? All you doing is making sure that you pay what you owe him. You know what I mean? That's all you doing. You already pay for your way. So help a brother out with just a little $200. You know what I mean? He done paid it, thousands for you to have a place to stay, places worship God, and all of that. At least give him a little $200. You know what I mean? That ain't nothing. You know what I mean? So make sure you pay your Passover fee, man. April 20th is going down, North Carolina, and that's it, man. I ain't got nothing.
You see what my Shamar wrote?
WJI, the Bible speaks.
War as usual tonight, my Shamar. Tonight. What time? 10 o'clock?
9:30.
9:30.
Yes, sir. On the channel, War as Usual channel. So come through too, sir. You know what I'm saying? YouTube cannot, man. Y'all be, cool. I know y'all work. It's, I work too, but it is what it
I'm
is.
surprised to see Officer Kazak on here. Not that he don't be on Tuesday night class. I'm just saying, like, he rocked out the whole night.
Damn right, man. At the water. So big up Officer Kazak, man.
Yeah, a little time on his head.
Hey.
Damn right.
Y'all
Listen,
think
every Monday
y'all ain't about to outwork me. Y'all ain't about to outwork me. I want crowns, though.
Get out of here.
I want crowns, though, Shaw.
All right,
you got them already, sir. Listen, y'all see the palm in his background. You know what I mean? Listen, listen, them palms right there ain't standing up for no reason, man. You know what I'm saying? This is a strong brother that taught most other brothers in Florida. You know what I'm saying? That taught a good majority of black brothers and sisters here in Florida.
Most crazy.
So big up, man. And that's it, sir. I ain't got nothing else.
Hey.
All right. Shalom, Israel.
Shalom,
Shalom,
12
Shabbat
tribes of
Shalom.
Israel.
This nigga-